Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Maybe you're feeling good right now. I hope you are. Maybe you can clap your hands a little bit. Just allow yourself to feel good. If not, feel a little bit better. This is Austin with Meet Me in the Morning. So however you're finding this video, whether it's live on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram TV, wherever you find it, I honor you and I welcome you. Even if I don't know you, I honored you. You took the time to click on this. You're perhaps a seeker, a soul seeker like myself, and you are looking to grow and move and contribute and maybe experience more of the beautiful things in life while you give back to others. Today's title is Emotional Violence. It's piggybacking on a couple of the other videos that I did, but first let me stop. Time out. Happy International Women's Day. Globally, we celebrate you ladies, no matter where you are. We celebrate you. I celebrate you. I honor you. I honor your presence in our lives, the beautiful feminine energy that we so need, and we need more of it in this life. And I'm going to talk about what I love most about women, so I'm going to make sure I keep time for that. What do I love most about you ladies? And hopefully some of the other guys can chime in and echo some of the same things or something completely different. This is Meet Me in the Morning version 2. My name is Austin. Today we're talking about emotional violence. Emotional violence. I've had a number of conversations about this topic over the past, it seems to come up consistently, but more recently this conversation has come up more. Emotional violence. Emotional violence. What am I talking about? Emotional violence, this is my hallucination, happens when we have unprocessed emotions, unprocessed events that lead to unprocessed emotions. And right now, unless you've been under a rock, you know that a lot of people do what's called energy work, or if you want to, in the Christian faith, laying hands on people. What has happened is that people trap emotions in their body. We tend to trap emotions in the body. Now, there's two ways to look at this, and I wrote some notes down, so stay with me this morning. Stay with me, and I want you to understand that suppression of emotions, because your emotions, there's nothing wrong with your emotions. Asterisk, however, unprocessed emotions can become toxic. And what I wrote down was suppression leads to explosion. Suppression leads to explosion. You follow me on this? Emotions, unprocessed emotions. And I'll tell you why that happens. And then suppression leads to explosion. Now, you may think of explosion like exploding out into the world, which that's a possibility. But here's the note, is that explosion can happen internally. And the note that I wrote down to give you a visual, unprocessed emotions can lead to internal combustion. Hence, storing unprocessed emotion in the form of toxic energy, which becomes toxic when it's not dealt with, inside of the body. And a lot of times it leads to toxic lifestyles. Using drugs, overusing alcohol, food. It adds to the toxicity, and it continues to create an environment in you emotionally and physically, because emotion's connected to physically, that does not sustain itself. Now, some people can live like this for many years, but some people cannot. And then you have the explosion internally, but you also have external, which, that explosion, when it happens externally, leads to external destruction in someone's path. It could be a lover exploding on their lover. It could be a person who goes out and grabs an AK-47 and starts blasting people in the mall because they haven't dealt with the emotion. And here's the challenge, everyone. Here's the challenge, is that emotion is frowned upon. In a male-dominated society over years, emotions are frowned upon. Now, are there times we need to manage our emotions? Maybe keep them at bay so we can handle life and situations? Absolutely. However, if that becomes the norm, what happens? It leads to suppression. And let me go to the masculine and feminine here while we have some time. Masculinity is taught not to show emotion because it's shame. Don't show your emotions. Ever. Ever. Be strong. Don't show emotion. Go to war. Fight the battle. Go to your job. Handle your life. Don't show emotion. And if I move to the veterans, my dad was a veteran who suffered with PTSD, layers upon layers upon layers of unprocessed emotions in the name of being that strong, dominant male. Now, if that's the society, what happens to the feminine energy? When a woman expresses her emotions, she's frowned upon. She's crazy. She's a bitch. She's out of control. Unprocessed emotions. And then what happens is women learn to manipulate, and then they suppress, but anything suppressed has to come out, or it has to store, right? It's energy in the body. It's got to be dealt with. And if it's stored, it leads to toxicity, leads to internal combustion. And then if it's released in an unhealthy, unconscious way, it destroys anything in its path. Boy, I'm laying some heavy stuff on you. Let's go back to this Bob Dylan conversation here for a second. We got Van Morrison. All right, well, whatever. The debate is that Bob Dylan's a good singer, and I'm going to dig into these lyrics, man. These lyrics are incredible if you listen to them. Let me move on. So hold that for a second. We're going to go back to how to deal with that, but let me just share with you what I love about women in general, because women are amazing, and what I admire about women is that despite what we men do to women, their capacity to love and forgive is beyond comprehension. A woman's capacity for love, beauty, and forgiveness is beyond comprehension. And I love and appreciate all the women in my life, that friends, family. I love you guys. I love you gals, I should say. I love you gals. And I thank you for all the blessings and the beauty that you bring into my life. And I want to share with you that your emotions are acceptable. Here's the difference, and then I'm going to get to the close. The emotions that you feel, just acknowledge them. Here's how we get over this. Accept your emotions. See, some people don't accept their emotions. If I'm supposed to hide my emotions, then I don't accept my emotions. That's the first problem. Or I don't understand them when they come up. Then they're going to lead to that suppression, which is going to lead to storage, which leads to internal combustion, or it leads to external destruction, and it annihilates everything in its path. We must become more conscious and aware and acceptable of our emotions. When they come up, we deal with them. Now, again, I just talked about the male and feminine. You can go back and listen to that. We can table this for another conversation. This is pretty deep this morning, but I feel it's necessary to handle the emotions, that your emotions are acceptable. Here's the difference. You become aware. You don't have to hold on to them. Every thought doesn't require a reaction, and every emotion doesn't require a response. You may want to write that one down. Every thought doesn't require a reaction, and every emotion doesn't require a response. You can be an observer. You can create a practice around being an observer of your emotions. Be acceptable of them. They're trying to talk to you. Your emotions are always talking to you. You can be an observer, and you can choose your response when they come up. Avoid suppression that leads to internal combustion, and then avoid explosion, which leads to external destruction of anybody in your path, people that come into your circle. Become an aware human being. You are strong. I'm going to convey to you, you are stronger than any emotion that can arise, than any emotion that can come up and well up in you. You are an amazing, unique individual that is possible. Greatness is possible for you, but emotion, the inability to recognize your emotions and process them in a healthy way could be ruining your life and ruining the life of the people in your circle. So if you're just joining, welcome, Ann. I miss you. When you're going to come back, say hello. We're here. We got stuff going on. We're creating a movement here. Get free, stay present, and move forward. We're building a movement. This thing is starting to build steam. It seems small right now, but I assure you, this is building steam. Why? Because people want freedom. They crave freedom. Freedom of expression of their emotions, void of manipulation or suppression of their emotions. You have the ability to express your emotions in a healthy way that ultimately will elevate people in the long run. You own it. You can do it. I love you guys. God bless you. Have an amazing Friday. I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube. This will be available on YouTube, IGTV. This is awesome. We're building a movement right now. Get free. I help people get free, stay present, and move forward so they can live as their best self and create true fulfillment in their life and their relationships. What else is there, in my opinion, other than getting free, creating more presence in your life, moving forward, and then really knowing that you're living life as your best self? And that leads to fulfillment in your life and your relationships because you're able to contribute at a higher level. Have an outstanding day. Have an outstanding day. Can you do it? Can you do it? Come on. Open up to the possibility of an outstanding day. I don't care what's going on in your life, loss, bombs going off. You can still have an outstanding day. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.